ancient way. Maybe if they have listened to what you have to say, they're the ones who stumbled up, and the world is in their hands. When you teach the children, jump the very best you can. We're just let it be. We gotta change it now. You and me. We got to all out there, make the old people aware. They're the ones who suffer and who catch on. They don't have so at all before their judgment day. The one to make them happy before they pass away. Make up for the builders, time to build a good man. I know we can do it if we all lift our hands. Only thing we have to do, put it in our mind. Surely things will work out. We do it every time. The world will get better. Can it be? We gotta change it. You and me. Change it. Change it. Oh, 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 God. Doing it. Yeah. All right, let me get a voice check. Can someone tell me how my voice coming across? How's the music? All right, all right. Wake up, everybody. So, Cheryl, you can't hear the music coming through? Can you hear my voice?
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to this morning Serendipity Sunday, Solution Sunday's presentation. And before we get started, I was having, I guess, some technical difficulty. The music wasn't playing. I'm not sure if you're on YouTube this morning. If you heard the music, type that in that you could hear the music. So as I go back and re-edit and set my settings in the future, I can hear that. So I'm going to take a 5 second purpose break here in order to start the recording. All right, good morning. Hello, I'm Greg Stanton, also known as the SAR, the Melanated Metaphysical Mystic. And it's my joy to welcome each of you into this sacred Zoom sanctuary where spirit meets science and metaphysics becomes the movement. We don't gather here each week for information. We gather for transformation. So every Sunday morning, we align, not just for truth, but with the vibration of demonstration. And today, I'm calling out something that many of us feel, but few of us name. You've been doing the work. Yes, you've been affirming, visualizing, thinking positive, and yet the breakthrough hasn't landed. Is that you this morning? If so, type in the chat yes. So let me offer you this sacred truth as we prepare today. The affirmation isn't broken, the law isn't confused, but something in your inner circuit may be misfiring. So don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. You've been affirming. Hopefully, by the end of this morning's brief presentation, you'll have a direct connect and things will begin to unfold, and your affirmations will work as they are planned to. So, this morning, we're going to reset your circuit. So, you're not just speaking words, you're becoming the frequency. Yes, you are aligning with the words that are being spoken. So let me just ask the room something real quick this morning. How many of you have ever said affirmations like your rent was due? I mean, you was intent with it. You was deliberate with it. You were intense with it. You were saying it because maybe your life depended on it. You were saying things like, I'm wealthy, I'm healthy, I'm loved. And then you check your bank account, your body, or your text message, and you thought, well, apparently the universe didn't get the memo. Well, you're not alone. I want to affirm you this morning, not with a cute lecture or catchphrase, but with truth. If your affirmations haven't been working, the problem isn't that you're broken. And it's not the affirmation that affirmations don't work because they truly do. Science backs that up. It's that your inner circuit is out of alignment. Yes, there's nothing wrong with the universe, but perhaps there's something not working within you. Maybe there's something you don't understand about affirmations. But I want to tell you, it's your inner circuit that dictates whether or not the affirmations are doing what they're sent to do. Before we dive deeper, let's ground this in a spiritual truth. One of my favorite scriptures is Proverbs 4 and 23. And this scripture tells us to guard our heart with all diligence, for out of it flows the issues of life. This means your life isn't being shaped only by what you're saying out loud, but by what your heart is radiating, what your gut is holding, and what your mind is rehearsing. So if you're affirming abundance, but vibrating fear, what flows from you will still carry contradiction. Then you become frustrated. then you just throw the baby out with the bathwater. So before we get started this morning, let me give you a working definition of affirmation. An affirmation is a conscious declaration of truth, a positive, present tense statement, which is intended to reprogram thought patterns, to even elevate your current emotional state, and to align the subconscious with a desired reality. Now, let me give you a classic definition. A simple classic definition for affirmation is an affirmation is a statement which is said with conviction and asserts something to be true. Okay? It's a statement which is said with conviction and it asserts that something is true. Good working classical definition. Now, in metaphysical practice, we go a little deeper. When we look at this definition from a metaphysical lens, which is aligned with what we're talking about this morning, an affirmation is not just a phrase, it's a vibrational agreement. It is the spoken word made magnetic, energized through belief, emotions, emotional resonance, and embodied action. So here's the key distinction of the metaphysical definition. It's not wishful thinking, it's not hoping, it's aligning. It's not future based. True affirmations are stated in the now, the present tense. I am, not I will be. You get that? And the last distinction is this. It's not performance. Power comes from Power comes when head, that is the belief, heart, that is your emotions, and gut, your actions, are in sync. We talked about that on last week. If you missed it, grab that YouTube from last week. But we're talking about we have three brains operating in our system. We have the head brain, which is often alluded to as the mind, but you want to know that the mind and the head, or the mind and the brain, are not the same thing. The brain is in the head, okay? The brain is in the heart, and there's a brain in your gut. So we're going to look at those today. But this distinction you want to know about when we use affirmations from a metaphysical perspective, you don't use them as wishful thinking. It has nothing to do with hoping. It is not future based. It's always present tense. And it's not about performance. Because we understand that power comes when our head belief, our heart emotion, and intentions align with our gut actions. When they're in sync, then your affirmations begin to work. Now, here's an example. A good example of a properly worded affirmation. I am aligned with divine flow. My thoughts, feelings, and actions create my reality. Matter of fact, let's say that this morning, right now, together, I am aligned with divine flow. My thoughts, feelings, and actions create my reality. Now, the beautiful thing about that is your internal dialogue can't refute that. And we're going to talk about how the internal dialogue often refutes what we are affirming because our affirmations are too strong for where we really are. So we got to learn how to soften up our affirmations. I see you guys over there coming into the Zoom room this morning. Good morning. Now, the truth behind the static, static is your affirmations are not producing after their kind, is not even producing a strong vibrational resonance within you. So you're not one dimensional, is the first thing you have to remember. You're not just a thinker. Okay? You are a three brain being. A three brain being. You have the head, the heart, and the gut. Now, the head is the narrator. This is where affirmations begin. You say, I am confident. Okay. But if your head is still replaying memories of when you froze, fell, or felt small, your inner narrator responds, I am confident. Kind of. You see how that will happen? The mental conflict waters down the signal before the heart or the gut ever hears it. And when it waters it down, it sends it directly to the gut, bypassing the heart. And guess what? You have some sense of like fear or some other self defeating gut instinct that causes you to be stuck. Then you have the heart. The heart is known as the broadcaster. The heart isn't impressed by what you say. Just because you're affirming something, the heart isn't impressed. It responds to what you actually feel. You might be affirming, I am enough. But if your heart is still carrying grief, doubt, or old rejection, your energetic field will still echo that unresolved pain. But let me say that again. If your heart isn't impressed by what you're saying, it responds to what you actually feel. See, your feelings are a good barometer of where you are when you are affirming something. If you affirm and there's no feeling associated with it, it's just words as sounding brass. So I want you to know you might be affirming, I am enough, but your heart is still carrying that grief, that doubt, or rejections, and your energetic field will still echo that. It doesn't matter how polished the words you create are. If the emotion isn't aligned, the frequency is distorted. Distortion. If your emotional self is not aligned with the statement that is made in the affirmation, you have distortion and the frequency signal isn't as strong. Now, these are reasons why your affirmations may not be coming to fruition or don't appear to be landing for you. Now, the third brain that I'm alluding to this morning. We talk about the head brain, the heart brain. The gut is the gatekeeper. This is the seat of your instinct, your courage, and it keeps the subconscious agreement. It's where your survival memory lives and it doesn't lie. You might affirm, I welcome abundance. But if your gut is still bracing from loss, from failure, from disappointment, it tightens up and says, let's not do anything risky today. To your gut, how it operates. So the head says yes, the heart says, I'm trying, but the gut says, not today. And in the universe, it responds, I'll wait until you agree. That is, the universe says, I'll wait until you agree. The universe affirms our oneness of being. And when these three brain centers are working in harmony, then it allows the universe to harmonize with it. So I want you to move from performance to power. I want you to move from just saying affirmations to the power that comes with it. We've been taught that affirmation is about repetition. Say it enough times and it'll manifest. Right. And that's how we operate, though. if I just say it enough time, if I just post enough post-it notes around, ultimately it'll happen. No, that's not how it works. Real power doesn't come from how often you say it or post it or write it. It comes from how many parts of you agree with it. The head writes the affirmation. The heart energizes it with feeling. The gut commits to bringing it to action. If those three aren't in agreement, then your affirmation isn't in alignment. It's performance. And many of us are tired because we've been in performance. We're laboring, but we're not called to labor. We're called to understand the laws, operate in alignment with them. So let me hear you say right now, I am no longer performing positivity. I am aligning with power. Let's say it again. I am no longer performing positivity. I am aligning with power. This, my friend, is how you move from vision board to vibrational reality. This is how we do it. Now, let's put alignment in action before we wrap up this morning. Let's move from theory to activation. I'm all about demonstration. So place one hand on your temple. Put your dominant hand on your temple. I'm right-handed, so I'll put my dominant hand right here. Okay. I want you to put your right hand on your temple, which is your head center, and say the affirmation, I am worthy. Okay. Let's say it again. I am worthy. That's coming from your head. Now shift your hand to your heart. Take a big, slow breath and ask yourself, can I feel this truth? What truth? The statement that you made, I am worthy. Can you feel it? Now, I want you to bring your hand to your gut, to your Buddha belly. And I want you to ask yourself, am I willing to act from this truth? What truth? That you're worthy today, even in some small way. So, see, this is an alignment that's real time. The head, I think it. The heart, I feel it. And the gut, I live it. Now, let's affirm together, fully and aloud. I'll say it once so you'll be familiar with what I'm going to have you affirm so you can align with it. I'm going to say it once. My mind is clear. My heart is truth. That is, my heart is in truth. My gut is in peace. I am aligned. I am magnetic. I am ready. Let's say that together. My mind is clear. My heart is in truth. My gut is in peace. I am aligned. I am magnetic. I am ready. Simple as that. You set yourself up for success. Because inside of this affirmation, there's no resistance. Okay? There's no second guessing. You can say, I am a millionaire. But your head brain will say, why are all those bills still in that pile? Why aren't you answering your phone if you don't know who the caller is? See, you can't fool yourself. You can fool other people sometimes, and there's even some that you can fool all of the time. But you can't fool yourself. You can say one thing, but guess what? If what you feel don't align with it, you're just talking loud and saying nothing. So this morning, this message is encouraging you not to throw away your practice of affirmations. Don't throw away your affirmations. I want you to learn to realign them. Don't fake positivity. Some people say fake it till you make it. I want you to feel it. I want you to embody it. I want you to become it. And if you can't feel it, you want to do the work of finding out what is down in my gut that is unresolved. What is in my head? What is a memory that is tucked away in there that I have to deal with? So before you just move on and hoping that just by stating it, it'll change the feeling, do the work. That's what this thing is all about. Transformation is about doing the work with the information, the tools that are being given to you. So don't throw away your affirmations. Again, realign with it. Don't fake positivity. I want you to feel it. I want you to embody it. I want you to become it. You are not chasing transformation. You are in the field, but you may be in a low vibrational range of the field. So you want to come up here. You want to move up the frequency. Let me tell you, you can't jump from a 4 to a 9. You can't frequency jump like that. You may be able to jump from a 4 to a 6, but you cannot frequency jump like that. You have to move it up the dial slowly. And the reason why the universe has it that way is because now you are dealing with what is the interference that affecting my coherence. And then you begin to address that. Old thoughts, old situations, things that really happened, unforgiveness that you're still harboring, that's anchoring you into that old resonance. So you have to do the work. So you are not chasing transformation. You are already in the field. So I want you to learn how to walk in coherence, to walk in power, to walk in a divine agreement. Divine agreement. Okay? And let your affirmations now speak what your whole being knows. Okay? Like, I am whole. I am aligned. I am magnetic by divine love. Say that with me. I am whole. I am aligned. I am magnetized by divine love. One more time. I'm whole. I'm aligned. I'm magnetized by divine love. So if somebody out there keeps saying that you're broken, you are not broken. And if you are broken, find the pieces and put them back together and then begin to do the work. Universe will not pour into a vessel that has holes in it, a vessel that is broken. Now, as we prepare to close this morning, I want to speak this closing affirming prayer over you. So, right where you are, I want you to take a big breath in and hold it. Now, exhale through your mouth and release it. Big breath in, hold it. Now, slowly exhale all the way down. And with your eyes closed, continue to breathe in and out. Today, we clear the static. Yes. Infinite intelligence, divine architect of alignment. We thank you for this sacred moment of remembrance and realignment. Thank you for showing us that our world holds power, but it's our agreement, mind, our brain, our heart, and our body that makes them magnetic. Today, we clear the static. We silence the inner arguments. We come into harmony with the truth of who we are. We align our thoughts with clarity, our hearts with compassion, our guts with courage. And we release the performance of positivity and embrace the embodiment of peace. We let our lives now affirm what our soul has already known. We are whole, we are aligned, we are perfectly perfect and complete. We are ready. And so it is. Ashe. Amen. Awesome, awesome. So I know you say, wow, that was fast. Well, I'm kind of gonna cut down on the time that we are here on Sunday mornings, the teaching time, that is. We're gonna go into the green room to have further discussion. So if you want to stick around for the green room, please feel free to do that. But before we close, for those who are going to be going off and starting your day, I want to open up the portal of the opportunity for you to sow into this ministry. If the words that have been spoken have brought some level of enlightenment, if something has been said and done, not only to it in this or sometime throughout the week that you've engaged me, and you want to sow a seed, not because there's a need, for the universe supplies all of my needs, but He may use you as that avenue by which it drops it into the earth realm. And so we welcome the opportunity that is open unto you to sow into this ministry, not because of need, neither because of statements of greed, but you give because you align with what has been stated. And in doing so, you sow into a fertile field, and what you sow will produce after its kind. So I say thank you for those of you who continue to support this ministry at whatever level you support it at, that you give from your heart and not your head, not out of obligation, but out of necessity to align and to walk with the principles of truth. Give and it shall be given to you. Pressed down, shaken together, so the universe open up the windows of heaven and streams to you that which is abundant, that which is necessary. And so it is. Awesome. Okay. So we're gonna go over into the green room this morning. But before I step into the green room, let me step down into the YouTube channel to see what kind of feedback there may be this morning. I did see that there are a number of people watching. Good morning, you creatives. I asked that you, as you came into the room, that you would drop into the chat where you're coming in from or where you're viewing from. And not to forget to hit that like button and share button if something was said that was uplifting and encouraging for you. So I want to say to my YouTube audience, keep coming back, keep sharing so we may continue to grow. Awesome. So let's go ahead and step into the green room for those of you who are with me this morning. As I look in the feed, I see that Rachel says Matthew 6 and 7. They think they will be heard because of their many words, babbling and vain repetition. That is a most appropriate scripture for this particular teaching. Many times we think the more words we use, the more eloquent our speech is, that we are cooking with fire. But many times nothing happens even with that. So we got to know it's not the amount of words, but it's the power of your word. Matter of fact, the fewer the words, the more powerful the statement. That's why we increase our vocabulary, that we can find that powerful word that will make a statement that many words are often used to make. So that's right, Rachel. That is so right. Let me look here. If you got a question this morning, or if you have a statement, go ahead and raise your hand. You can look down in the bottom of your screen. There's a legend, and you can raise your hand there if you have a statement you want to make, or you can just type it right in. It's good to see you this morning. Savanda, Beverly, good to see you. Hope things are well for you there in in the state of Georgia. Good to see you. Let me see. Rachel, good to see you. Alan, there was no music. I don't know why the music did not come through this morning, but we'll work on that. All right. It looks like there's no questions. There's no more comments. If that's the case, then I'm going to respect your time and give the rest of this day back to you. And I look forward to seeing some of you perhaps throughout this week, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 6:15 Central Standard Time. We have our morning meditations. If you want to know more about that, please feel free to go to the website, solutionsforliving.com. Poke around out there. And don't forget about the Tuesday nights. We have the living room where we go deeper into teachings. This week we kick off where we had an introductory section session on last week, but this week I will step into this book of the law shall not depart from thy mouth. But if you meditate on it day and night, then you shall make your way successful. You shall make your way successful. So I'm gonna look at the seven hermeneutic, what they call the hermeneutic, but I call the seven comedic principles that make up the law of success. And so we're going to start looking at each one. And this week we're going to deal with the law of mentalism. Mind is everything. All right. So I look forward to you joining me. Poke around on the website, you'll find all of that. Um, awesome. Great, great. So you guys have a wonderful day. I will talk to you when I see you later on this week. Other than that, be at peace. Take some time, re-listen to this, and know this. Your world is framed by the words you speak, not just the words you state, but the words that are spoken from feeling. Watch what happens when you come into that realization. Peace. Have a wonderful day. I'm out.